Three, two, one.
Hello everybody and welcome to Tonight in STEM. I'm your host, Juan Lopez. This is a show where I interview professionals and graduates in the field of science, technology, engineering, and mathematics. Welcome to the Hack of Life portion of Tonight in STEM. We had a chance to interview Juan Lopez. Juan Lopez, how are you doing today?
Very good, and yourself?
Good, thank you. Thank you for being interviewed.
Having
So now
me.
we're definitely going to touch on his Hack of Life. The topic we're going to cover is maintaining an open dialogue and conversation with your graduate advisor. And since we have Juan Lopez here, a PhD student, we're definitely going to talk about that. So tell me how you do it to maintain an open dialogue with your advisor. Some key things, some key tips.
Definitely, when I first started talking to my advisor, when you get accepted into grad school, usually they have what's called a department visit weekend, where it's a weekend you set aside. The department flies you out for free to talk to advisors, just to get to know them and everything, right? And during that time, I met with professors just to get an idea of who I'd like to work with. And that's when I met the advisor I ended up working for, Dr. Pudeau, and I just laid some things out for him, and I told him, like, hey, I like my family. I want family to be involved in my life. And, that means family emergencies may happen. And kind of topics of that nature. I brought that sort of stuff up to him beforehand, and I wanted to see what he thought about it. And he told me very openly also, like, hey, if you need to take time, if you have a family emergency, if you have a personal emergency, life happens. Don't worry, and I completely understand. So, like, making sure he knows about those things beforehand.
So it's really putting everything out there, up in front, before you even get started.
Right.
Okay, I like that. Very, very straightforward.
Yeah. Also, I have some friends who also brought up holidays and wanted a certain number of holidays every year. So people do it very differently.
Okay.
Yeah.
Awesome. And then what else do you do to maintain this? Do you guys have meetings, weekly meetings to report progress, bi-weekly meetings?
So it varies. If I felt like I haven't seen him in a while and I need to update him as far as like what's going on in research, then I'll request a one-on-one meeting. However, usually because he's like just a cool, very down-to-earth guy, he'll just have like an open door policy essentially, where I just go knock on his door, and like if I need a couple minutes or seconds of his time, he's like more than happy to and answer any questions I have, and that can happen at any time of day. I've been here at like 7 a.m. or 8 a.m., had a question, knocked, he was here. Sometimes he's here really late too, so it'll be like 8 or 9 p.m., knock on his door, and he's there and willing to answer. So it's just seeing when he's available and talking to him.
And then how open of a communication do you have with him? Like, you mentioned he has an open door policy, but like, is it rare that maybe you don't talk to him in a day or two or something like that, or is that kind of common?
No, that's pretty common actually. So I could not see him. The longest I've gone without seeing him is like probably 2 weeks, because he went to a different country to give talks and stuff about the research that our group does. However, in that time, you can check up with him like through email, or basically just tell him what's going on. However, when he's been here in Michigan, the longest I've gone without talking to him has probably been like about a week.
Okay.
Where like I just haven't seen him at all. I'm just like either at my desk or in lab doing stuff. And if I need his guidance, I ask for it. And if I don't, then I just do what I need to get done, and I go about my day. Yeah. I don't have to touch base with him every single day or every couple of days. It's when I need him, and he's always there when I need him, which is awesome.
So he's an advisor. He's more of a mentor. He's more there if you have any
Exactly.
questions, to guide you and things
Exactly.
like
Because we're researchers. We're budding researchers. We're learning how everything works, literally. We're getting trained on equipment, and we're getting trained in how to think and how to understand, and what's important to understand even within the field. Sometimes my brain's like, this would be really interesting. Maybe we should go into this. And he'll be like, it is interesting, but it's not the point of the study. And I'll be like, you know what, you're right. Like, while this would be good to do, or like it would be nice to do, it's not what we're trying to achieve.
Okay.
Yeah,
Wow.
so like he mentors you and gives you advice basically.
Well, anything else on how to maintain open dialogue and communication with your advisor? Anything, I'm
Uh,
trying to think of anything that might jump out.
uh, Talking to him and asking him if he will be available, or if they will, or if she will be available. They will be available when you need to talk to them. If you can, basically, bringing up uh, the idea of communication is like how best to communicate with your advisor. Um, Different advisors have different structures. So my advisor, for example, he's still here. He's still writing a lot. He does a lot of work here on campus. So he's usually in his office and I can go and bother him. However, other people, other professors are so busy sometimes that they're constantly flying in and out of the country all the time throughout the year. So at times they may be out of the country for like 2 or 3 months even. So making sure you understand their schedule and trying to connect with them and communicate with them as best they can as well. Understanding how best to communicate is also important.
Correct. And then
Yeah.
when to communicate, I guess,
Exactly, when to communicate.
because they might be going out for 2 months or a month, and then you have to plan ahead, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Before to ask them questions before they're unavailable for this long duration of time.
Right.
So, okay,
Or
awesome.
you could even forget and then just send them an email with your questions and they'll go back to you when they can. You
Well,
know?
we hope, right? In
Right.
theory, if they're not having too much fun.
But you're his mentee, so he cares about you at the end of the day. So he is going to do his best to answer. He or she, sorry. My
Correct.
advisor's the guy, so I refer to advisors in general as he's, but yeah.
That's why it's important to find that right advisor,
Right,
that
exactly.
relationship, because it's going to be for a long time.
Yeah. And different relationships are different. Like you shouldn't strive to make your relationship fit any type of idea or structure that you think um, other people are following. Some people literally call up their professor, like on the phone, and just talk to them about stuff. Other people don't see their advisors and just communicate over email, and that's perfectly fine too. As long as you get work done and both parties are happy and have realistic expectations,
Correct.
I think that's what's most important.
Some mutual agreement, some understanding, common
Ex-
understanding.
Exactly.
Okay.
Exactly.
Well, Juan Lopez, thank you for this insight. This is for, I guess, the graduate hack of life on tonight's
Right.
step.
Yeah.
All right. Thank you, Juan Lopez.
Thank
All
you.
right. We'll see everybody probably next week with another individual, another graduate student we'll be talking to. Again, like I mentioned in the last episode, I have partnership with the SHIP Graduate Committee. So we'll be getting to know more graduate students. That was Juan Lopez at the University of Michigan. All right, recording stopped.